Fans are shocked. The internet is buzzing. And emotions are running higher than ever before because the golden boy of college football, Travis Hunter, has just found himself at the center of a storm nobody saw coming. For months, Hunter has been the poster child of talent, charisma, and promise. But now, his image has taken a hit that fans are calling a bust, and the fallout is nothing short of catastrophic. The whispers started quietly, with subtle murmurs online, but in the past few days, those whispers have exploded into a deafening roar. People who once cheered his every move are now dragging his name through the mud. But how did it all go so wrong so fast? Was it the weight of expectations finally crushing him? Or did someone close to him play a role in his sudden downfall? Reports hint at betrayal, family tensions, and even accusations that go far beyond the field. The story is twisting in ways no one could have predicted, leaving fans divided and rivals circling like sharks. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will not only change the way you see Travis Hunter, but will also leave you questioning who you can really trust in the world of sports and fame. The unraveling of Travis Hunter's perfect image began not with a game, not with a performance on the field, but with a single leaked video that spread across social media like wildfire. The clip, grainy and shaky, showed Hunter in a heated argument with someone fans could barely identify at first. The voice on the other end of the shouting match belonged to his longtime friend, a guy who had been with him since high school. The two were screaming back and forth, and although the audio wasn't crystal clear, enough words slipped through to leave fans stunned. "You're not who they think you are," the friend yelled. "You're nothing but hype." As soon as the video went public, fans started replaying it, dissecting every second, slowing it down, amplifying the sound, looking for clues. People who once adored Travis began to whisper, then shout, that maybe he was more bust than superstar. Memes poured in, commentary channels lit up, and even some former players chimed in with their own hot takes. One tweet that went viral read, "Travis Hunter fooled us all. The golden boy just cracked." But the truth was more complicated than a 30-second clip could ever reveal. Behind the scenes, Hunter was struggling. Those close to him say the pressure had been building for months. His family was divided, his father urging him to block out the noise and prove himself on the field, while his mother worried he was burning out under the spotlight. In one tense dinner conversation, his mother reportedly said, "Travis, you're losing yourself. This game isn't supposed to eat you alive." To which his father slammed the table and shot back, "This is what greatness costs, and he's built for it. Don't make him soft." The argument between his parents wasn't just about football. It was about the weight of expectation crushing a young man who still hadn't figured out who he really was. Travis sat there in silence, torn between two voices that both loved him but demanded completely different futures, while his family battled internally. Fans outside the home grew restless. Performance after performance, Hunter was solid but not spectacular. Every missed tackle, every dropped ball, became fuel for critics who claimed he was overrated. The words "a bust" started trending after one particular game where Hunter failed to deliver the game-winning play that everyone expected. The camera caught his reaction as he walked off the field head down, lips pressed tight, trying to hold back the storm inside him. And that storm finally broke the night the infamous video leaked. Friends close to Travis revealed that the shouting match was about more than football. His longtime friend accused him of abandoning those who had been with him since day one, trading loyalty for fame, and forgetting where he came from. "You think these fans will love you forever? Wait until you slip. They'll tear you apart," the friend said, his voice sharp, almost prophetic. Those words cut deeper than fans realized, because Hunter had already begun to feel the cracks in his support system. People he trusted seemed to change once money and fame entered the picture. His cousin, who once bragged about being Travis's #1 supporter, reportedly tried to sell private photos to a tabloid. A childhood coach, once a father figure, gave a bitter interview saying, "I don't even recognize him anymore. He thinks he's bigger than the game." With each betrayal, Hunter grew more isolated, yet the public didn't see his pain. What they saw was an athlete who looked tired, distracted, and sometimes careless. And fans don't forgive carelessness. The comment sections filled with words like lazy, arrogant, and, worst of all, bust. But just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, another twist surfaced. An anonymous account dropped screenshots that appeared to show Hunter arguing with teammates in a private group chat. In one message, allegedly written by Travis, he complained that some teammates weren't on his level and were dragging him down. Though the authenticity of the messages was never confirmed, the damage was done. Teammates grew cold, fans grew hostile. And the whispers of betrayal turned into full-blown accusations. The locker room dynamic shifted. During one practice, a player reportedly confronted Hunter directly. "You think you're better than us?" he snapped. Witnesses say Hunter tried to defend himself, saying, "That's not what I meant. You're twisting it," but the tension lingered like a shadow. The once tight-knit team felt fractured and fingers pointed squarely at him. His coach, desperate to keep the team together, called a closed-door meeting. The players sat in silence, arms crossed, eyes filled with doubt. The coach addressed them all but kept glancing at Hunter. "This team is built on trust," he said slowly. "And right now, I don't know if that trust is here anymore." The words were meant for everyone. But the room knew who they were really aimed at. Hunter lowered his gaze, unable to meet anyone's eyes. Outside the stadium walls, fans debated furiously online. Some argued that Hunter was just a young athlete under immense pressure, while others insisted he was revealing his true colors. One popular sports blogger wrote, "Fans expected a hero. But maybe what we got was just another cautionary tale." The phrase spread quickly, echoed across podcasts, YouTube breakdowns, and Instagram reels. Hunter's social media turned into a battlefield. Every post he made, whether about football or something simple like a family photo, was flooded with comments ranging from cruel insults to desperate pleas for him to fix things before it's too late. The negativity seeped into his daily life. His sister revealed in a tearful interview he doesn't even want to leave his room some days. It's like he's carrying the world and it's crushing him. But even as the walls closed in, Hunter refused to back down. In private, he told his inner circle, "I'm not a bust. I'll prove them wrong. They'll all see." His determination burned fiercely, but so did his frustration. He wanted to silence the critics, but his every move seemed to feed them instead. The climax of this first chapter in Hunter's unraveling came during a live game broadcast. After a critical mistake, a dropped pass that could have shifted momentum, the camera zoomed in on Hunter's face as fans in the stadium booed. The sound was deafening, and the look in his eyes told a story words couldn't capture. His teammates avoided him on the sideline, his coach barely looked his way, and the commentators didn't hold back. "This is not the Travis Hunter fans signed up for," one said flatly, sending shockwaves through living rooms across the country. That moment, the boos, the cold stares, the harsh commentary marked the point of no return. It wasn't just about football anymore. It was about reputation, loyalty, identity, and whether or not Travis Hunter could withstand a storm that threatened to destroy everything he had built. As the game ended and he walked silently into the locker room, his phone already buzzing with criticism, his story shifted from being one of rising glory to one of survival. The Golden Boy was now the center of a scandal that had only just begun to unfold. And fans everywhere were left wondering, could Travis Hunter ever redeem himself? Or was this truly the beginning of his downfall? And with that question hanging heavy in the air, the next chapter of drama was set to erupt. One that would expose even deeper fractures, shocking betrayals, and truths that no one, not even Hunter himself, was ready to face. The fallout from that humiliating game was immediate and brutal. As soon as Travis Hunter stepped out of the locker room, cameras flashed, microphones were shoved in his face, and questions fired at him like bullets. "Are you a bust, Travis?" One reporter yelled. "Have you lost the locker room?" shouted another. He didn't answer. He kept his head down, earbuds in, hoodie pulled tight, but the silence spoke louder than words. Fans watching the clips replayed on sports networks were convinced something was seriously wrong. Something was seriously wrong. Behind closed doors, the tension boiled over. That same night, teammates confronted him in the locker room, where the media wasn't allowed. One player slammed his locker shut and snapped, "You don't talk to us, you don't have our back. And now the fans boo us because of you." Hunter tried to defend himself, his voice breaking. "I never said I was better than anyone. I just want to win. Everything I've done has been for this team." But the walls of distrust were already too high. Meanwhile, social media caught fire with another bombshell. A leaked voice memo, allegedly from a private conversation, surfaced online. The voice, which sounded eerily like Hunter's, said, "These fans think they own me. I don't owe them anything." The clip spread like wildfire, stirring outrage. Whether real or doctored, nobody seemed to care. People felt betrayed. Hashtags like #HunterExposed and #NotMyHero trended overnight. His family, too, was dragged into the spotlight. His mother, desperate to defend her son, gave an emotional interview. "He's just a boy with a dream, and the world has turned against him. You all built him up, and now you want to tear him down. That's not fair." Her voice cracked, her eyes full of tears. But her defense didn't soften the backlash, it only fueled it. Critics accused her of enabling him, of refusing to hold him accountable. His father, on the other hand, took a harder stance. He went on a podcast and declared, "My son is no bust. He's the best out there, and if his teammates can't handle his greatness, that's on them." While some admired his confidence, others felt it confirmed the narrative of arrogance surrounding Travis. Fans began to whisper that maybe the problem wasn't just the player, it was the family too, as the world around him spiraled. Hunter's closest friends revealed that he had begun to distance himself from nearly everyone. One confidant shared, "He doesn't answer calls anymore. He's shutting people out. It's like he's building a wall so high, nobody can reach him." Yet behind that wall, Hunter was fighting battles nobody could see. Sleepless nights, endless replays of his mistakes in his head. And the growing fear that maybe, just maybe, the critics were right. But the storm had only just begun. The next shocking twist came from an unexpected source, a former girlfriend. She went public with claims that Hunter had changed since fame entered his life. He used to be humble, grounded, the kind of guy who'd do anything for his people, she said in a dramatic video. But now he acts like the world revolves around him. And trust me, what you're seeing on the field is just the tip of the iceberg. Her words, emotional and bitter, spread like gasoline on an already raging fire. Fans felt betrayed on every level. The golden image of Travis Hunter as a humble, hardworking young star crumbled piece by piece. Podcasts dissected his every move. Tabloids published sensationalized headlines. And YouTube commentators created hour-long breakdowns titled things like "The Tragic Downfall of Travis Hunter" and "From Hero to Zero." Still, Hunter refused to back down publicly. In one rare press conference, his eyes red from exhaustion. He stood in front of the cameras and said, "I'm not done. I'm not a bust. I'll prove it on the field." The statement was meant to silence the critics, but instead it backfired. Reporters dissected his tone, claiming he sounded defensive, angry, or worse, entitled. Fans weren't convinced. Behind the scenes, things were even more chaotic. Rumors spread that some teammates had gone to the coach demanding Hunter be benched. One anonymous player was quoted saying, "We can't win with him right now. He's toxic." When that report surfaced, fans exploded with debates. Half agreed, saying benching him was the only way to save the team. The other half insisted that Hunter was the only one with the talent to pull them out of the mess. The divide deepened. Hunter's coach faced immense pressure. In one private meeting, he looked Hunter in the eyes and said, "You're at a crossroads, son. You either step up and prove them wrong, or you let this whole thing bury you. The choice is yours." Those words hit hard. But they also added to the crushing weight already on his shoulders. And then came betrayal of another kind, one of Hunter's supposed best friends. The same friend who had appeared in the leaked argument video gave an exclusive interview. He painted a damning picture. Travis isn't who you think he is. He stopped caring about his people the second he got attention. We used to dream together. Now he acts like he's above us. Fans are finally seeing the real him. The words stung, not just for Hunter, but for everyone who once believed in his story. Emotions ran high as Hunter tried to control the narrative. He posted a long message online, denying the accusations, claiming the leaked memo and messages were fake, and insisting he had never turned his back on his friends. "I've made mistakes," he admitted, "but I'm still the same guy who's been grinding since day one." Some fans rallied to his defense, but the majority remained skeptical. And just when it seemed the drama couldn't twist any further, another layer was exposed. A report surfaced that Hunter had gotten into a physical altercation during practice. While the details were murky, whispers claimed it started when a teammate mocked him, calling him "bust boy." Witnesses said Hunter snapped, shoving the player and shouting, "Say it again." Coaches had to step in to break it up. Though the team tried to downplay the incident, the rumor mill spun out of control. The internet lit up with commentary. Fans speculated that Hunter was unraveling emotionally, unable to handle the pressure. Psychologists were brought on talk shows to analyze his behavior. "He's under immense scrutiny, and it's clearly taking a toll," one expert explained. "But this is the price of fame. Either he adapts or he breaks." His family's divide only grew sharper. His mother begged him to take a step back, to rest, to heal. "You don't have to prove anything to anyone, Travis. Just take care of yourself." But his father wouldn't hear of it. Rest is for the weak. If he sits out now, he'll never recover his image. He has to fight. Their clashing advice left Hunter torn, unable to find peace. Through it all, the fans grew more merciless. Every mistake was magnified, every gesture misinterpreted. When Hunter appeared on the sideline with his head in his hands, some fans saw a young man breaking down. Others saw weakness and mocked him mercilessly. The divide widened, the hostility deepened, and the once adored star found himself surrounded by doubt, betrayal, and anger from every direction. The storm swirling around Travis Hunter only grew darker after the alleged practice altercation. Fans who once adored him now seemed to wait for his every slip, ready to pounce with mocking memes, sarcastic tweets, and ruthless comments. "He's finished," one viral post declared, with thousands agreeing. But the worst blow came not from fans, not even from the media, but from within his own circle, the people he thought he could still trust. Late one Friday night, private video was leaked onto a gossip page. The clip showed Hunter at what appeared to be a house party, laughing with friends while music blared in the background. On the surface, it looked harmless. But then came the part that set the internet ablaze. A few seconds where Hunter, visibly frustrated, muttered, "They'll never be satisfied no matter what I do. Maybe they don't even deserve me." Those words, taken out of context or not, spread like wildfire. The backlash was instant and brutal. Fans flooded his socials, accusing him of arrogance, of disrespecting the very people who had supported him. "We don't deserve you. You don't deserve us." One furious fan wrote. Hashtags like #ungratefulhunter and #fanbetrayal trended for days. Hunter claimed the clip was twisted, that the words were said in the heat of venting to close friends, but nobody cared. Perception had already hardened against him. The betrayal, though, ran even deeper. Sources close to Hunter revealed that the leak had come from someone at the party, someone he had invited personally, a mole in his own inner circle. When he found out who it was, he reportedly confronted them in tears. "Why would you do this to me?" he demanded. The alleged reply, "Because people deserve to know who you really are." The sting of betrayal was unbearable, and it pushed Hunter further into isolation. His sister, trying to comfort him, described one late-night phone call where he broke down. "They all hate me," he whispered. "Everywhere I turn, someone's ready to stab me in the back." His sister tried to reassure him, but his voice cracked as he repeated, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I really am a bust." Meanwhile, his teammates were growing restless. Whispers leaked that the locker room was toxic and divided, with some players refusing to even sit near Hunter. One anonymous teammate revealed to a journalist he's walking around like a ghost. Nobody knows if he's about to explode or just shut down. The coach, desperate to hold things together, scheduled another team meeting. But this time, things spiraled out of control. The meeting started calm, but tensions boiled quickly. One player stood up and pointed directly at Hunter. "You don't care about us. It's all about you. You don't even see how you're dragging everyone down." Hunter snapped back, his voice shaking with fury. "That's not true. I've given. That's not true. I've given everything for this team, and all I get is hate. You think this is easy?" Shouting erupted, players taking sides, chairs scraping against the floor. The coach had to slam his hand on the table to bring order. "Enough," he roared. But the damage was done. The team was fractured, the unity gone dot outside the team. The media reveled in the chaos. Headlines screamed, "Hunter loses the locker room and from prodigy to pariah." Sports talk shows debated endlessly, some blaming the fans for putting too much pressure on a young player. Others insisting Hunter's downfall was entirely his own doing. Every morning, every night, his name was on the lips of pundits dissecting his every move. His family situation grew even more volatile. His mother begged him to step away from the sport for a while, to heal and rebuild privately. "Baby, they don't see your heart anymore. Give it time, let them remember who you are." But his father doubled down, demanding he fight harder than ever. "This is war, son. You don't walk away from war, you win it." The clash of parental voices left Hunter stuck in the middle, torn apart by guilt, anger, and exhaustion. And then came the most shocking twist yet. A former coach, once considered a mentor and father figure to Hunter, gave a scathing interview. "Travis has lost his way," he said gravely. "He's chasing fame instead of greatness. I tried to guide him, but he stopped listening. The kid you see now, that's not the Travis I knew." Those words hit harder than any headline, because they came from someone who had once believed in him. Fans latched onto the interview, spreading it across social media like proof of everything they'd suspected. "Even his coach knows he's done," one comment read. Hunter, upon hearing the interview, reportedly threw his phone against the wall in rage. "He was supposed to have my back," he shouted to a friend. "How could he say that about me?" The sense of betrayal, layered upon betrayal, left Hunter spiraling. He stopped appearing in public, skipped team outings, and rarely answered calls. Rumors swirled that he was considering walking away from football altogether. Insiders whispered about sleepless nights, heated arguments with his father, and even therapy sessions that ended with Hunter storming out in frustration. Yet, through the darkness, there were still glimpses of the fighter within him. In one private conversation with a friend, he said, "I can't let it end like this. If I go down, it won't be because they broke middle, be because I gave up, and I'm not giving up." His determination flickered, fragile but alive. But the world wasn't done testing him. Just as whispers of his possible redemption began, another scandal erupted. A set of screenshots, supposedly from Hunter's own private messages, surfaced online. In them, he appeared to mock fans, saying they're like sheep cheering 1 minute, booing the next. Whether real or fabricated, the timing couldn't have been worse. The narrative of arrogance cemented further. His teammates grew colder, his fans angrier, and his family more divided. Hunter himself seemed to teeter on the edge of breaking entirely. During one game after another critical mistake, fans once again booed loudly. Cameras caught him slamming his helmet on the ground and shouting, "I'm done with this," before storming off to the locker room mid-game. Commentators called it the most shocking walkout in recent memory. That moment became the centerpiece of endless debates. Was it a sign of weakness or the boiling point of a young man pushed too far? Either way, it was undeniable. Travis Hunter's story had shifted from promising prodigy to tragic meltdown before the world's eyes. The walkout mid-game sent shockwaves across the sports world. It was the moment fans said confirmed their worst fears. Travis Hunter was no longer the hero they thought he was. The boos had been loud, but the silence after he stormed off was louder. In living rooms, on social media, in crowded bars, people shook their heads in disbelief. "He quit on us," one fan posted, his words echoing thousands of others. The locker room was a scene of chaos that night. Teammates were furious, voices clashing. One player slammed his gear into the bench and yelled, "He left us out there." We were still fighting and he walked away. Another tried to defend him, saying, "You don't get it, he's been carrying the weight of the world." But the room was split, and no one seemed willing to bridge the divide. When Hunter finally returned, his face pale, eyes bloodshot, the silence was unbearable. Nobody spoke. Nobody looked at him. Reports claimed that later, behind closed doors, he broke down in front of the coach. "I can't do it anymore," he admitted, tears streaming down his face. The coach, torn between compassion and frustration, told him, "You're stronger than this, but you have to want it. I can't carry you. You have to carry yourself." Outside, the world was merciless. Headlines screamed words like coward, quit, and bust. Memes mocked him relentlessly. A video of his walkout was replayed on every platform, dissected from every angle. Fans debated endlessly. Was it a cry for help or the ultimate betrayal? But the majority opinion was clear. Their patience had run out. His family was left in turmoil. His mother, heartbroken, called the incident a cry for compassion, pleading for people to remember that he was still just a young man. His father, however, was livid. In a heated conversation that sources leaked, he reportedly shouted, "You embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed this family. You don't walk off that field. Ever." The clash between his parents only deepened Hunter's sense of being trapped. With no safe place to land, the betrayals kept coming. A former teammate went public with claims that Hunter had been distant for months, skipping team activities and avoiding accountability. He isolated himself and then he blamed everyone else, the teammate said bluntly. Fans latched onto this as more proof that Hunter wasn't who they thought he was yet. In the midst of the chaos, a small group of loyal supporters tried to defend him. Hashtags like #StandWithTravis surfaced, though they were drowned out by louder chants of #HunterBust. Still, those loyal voices mattered to Hunter. In one rare live stream, his voice shaky but resolute, he addressed the fans directly. "I know I've let people down. I know I've made mistakes. But I'm not done. I promise you I'm not done." The reaction was mixed. Some applauded his honesty, calling it the first real sign of humility they'd seen in months. Others mocked it, labeling it too little, too late. The division grew sharper, leaving Hunter caught between faint hope and overwhelming doubt. Then came perhaps the most shocking twist of all. A leaked report claimed that Hunter was considering transferring to another team, leaving behind the place where his reputation had crumbled. Insiders said he believed a fresh start was the only way to escape the shadow of the word bust. When the news broke, fans went wild. Some saw it as cowardice, others as a chance for redemption. "He's running away," critics sneered. "He deserves a second chance," supporters countered. The transfer rumors tore through his current team. Teammates felt betrayed all over again. One anonymous player was quoted saying, "If he leaves, it proves he never cared about us in the first place." Hunter, however, saw it differently. In a private conversation with a friend, he reportedly said, "I can't breathe here anymore. Everywhere I look, I see hate. Maybe somewhere else I can be myself again." The debate raged on, with analysts weighing in. Some argued that a change of scenery could revive his career, while others insisted his reputation would follow him wherever he went. Talk shows dedicated hours to debating his every decision, while fans filled comment sections with passionate, angry, and sometimes heartbreaking opinions. As the season wound down, Hunter faced his biggest decision yet: stay and fight for redemption in a place where almost everyone had turned on him, or leave and risk being branded a quitter forever. Sources close to him said he spent sleepless nights wrestling with the choice, pacing his room until dawn, replaying every moment that led to his fall. His sister revealed in an emotional interview. He wants to make things right, but he doesn't even know what right looks like anymore. He's scared. He feels like no matter what he does, people will hate him. Her words painted a picture of a young man broken down by the relentless storm around him. In a final twist, days before the official announcement about his future was expected, Hunter was spotted back on the practice field. Cameras caught him running drills, sweat pouring, focus intense. Fans watching from the sidelines gasped. Was this the sign of a comeback? Or just a desperate attempt to silence critics one last time? The world watched, breathless, as Hunter pushed himself harder than ever. Teammates stood off to the side, unsure whether to cheer or to doubt. The coach, arms crossed, studied him with unreadable eyes. And Hunter, chest heaving, whispered to himself, "I'm not a bust. I'll never be a bust. I'll never be a bust." But whether the world will ever believe him again remains the question. His story, full of betrayals, breakdowns, and battles both on and off the field, has become one of the most dramatic sagas fans have ever witnessed. As the chapter closes, one thing is certain: the rise, the fall, and the fight of Travis Hunter has left fans divided, emotions raw, and the future uncertain. And with the season's end looming, everyone waits to see, will Travis Hunter rewrite his story? Or will the word bust follow him forever? And so the saga of Travis Hunter leaves us all hanging on the edge of our seats. After the leaked videos, the betrayals from friends, the family torn apart, the locker room drama, and the deafening boos from fans, one question remains unanswered: where does he go from here? Will he rise above the storm and reclaim his crown? Or has the label of a bust already been etched into his legacy forever? Emotions ran high. The family was left divided. And fans are still split right down the middle. But here's where you come in. What do you think? Is Travis Hunter just another cautionary tale of fame crushing a young star? Or is this the dark middle chapter of a redemption story waiting to unfold? Do you believe he can prove everyone wrong and silence the critics? Or has he already lost too much to ever bounce back? We want to hear your thoughts, your takes, your hot opinions. Drop them in the comments below, because this conversation is just getting started. And if you've been hooked by all the drama, the twists, the betrayals, and the raw emotion of this story, make sure you hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another deep dive into the scandals and sagas that keep fans talking. And don't forget to ring that bell icon, cause the next chapter in the Travis Hunter drama could break any moment, Tan. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.